My latest video delves into the unknown and unexpected. Did you realize that each day, bizarre and unexplainable phenomena are occurring globally? You're about to uncover them shortly. From fish raining from the sky and the eerie door to hell, to stealthy yet deadly underwater volcanoes. Today's episode is brimming with peculiarities. Number 10. Underwater volcanoes. If one day you feel the water boiling around you as you swim, it may be too late to leave because you're above one of the underwater volcanoes. Yes, that's right. Active volcanoes can be located not only on land, but also in the sea. Moreover, underwater volcanoes are much larger than the land one, both in size and in the amount of products of eruption coming from the bowels of Earth. They're also the source of many tsunamis. On our planet, underwater volcanoes produce 3/4 of all magma ejected from the bowels of the planet each year. Most active underwater volcanoes are located at the junction of tectonic plates in what are called oceanic ridges. These ridges run mostly deep underwater, so most eruptions are invisible to humans, and it's often impossible to notice the eruption with the help of acoustic equipment. This is due to the fact that at great depths, when magma is ejected into cold water, it immediately cools down, turning into volcanic glass. So it doesn't boil, and it's impossible to hear it. Do water spouts and underwater volcanoes seem too distant and fantastical to you? Then let's talk about something that happens right next to us almost every day. Can you find an explanation for these phenomena? Let's see. Number 9. Water spouts. It turns out that tornadoes have siblings, but not many people have heard of them. They're called water spouts. Tornadoes usually appear in large, open areas where cold and warm airs collide. Water spouts are the answer to the question of whether a tornado can appear in the open sea. Fortunately, in most cases, water spouts do not draw in new water, but simply spin in a circle the water dust that was initially picked up. For this reason, water spouts usually evaporate before they reach the coast. However, they cause a lot of trouble for ships and deep-sea swimmers. If such a tornado catches up with someone in the open sea, it can easily drag them underwater. Number 8. Door to hell. Imagine standing on the ground and looking straight into hell. You can experience something similar if you go to Turkmenistan. This fiery pit, called Darvaza, is the result of drilling and excavation by Soviet geologists in 1971. Due to the huge amount of underground gas in the crater, the danger to the local population grew, so it was decided to set it on fire, which was supposed to go out in a few days, is still burning today. Although 50 years have passed and the flames, which reach 10 meters in height, can be seen from several kilometers away. The door to hell is about 60 meters in diameter and 20 meters deep today. Most of the poisonous gases have burned out. Tourists are allowed to visit the site. In 2010, the president of Turkmenistan visited Darvaza and said that the crater should be backfilled or other measures should be taken to limit its impact on gas production in other fields in the area. But so far, there has been no active action on the crater area. In November 2013, famous traveler and explorer from Canada, George Karanis, even descended to the bottom of the crater to conduct research and collect samples. He managed to find bacteria that live at the bottom of the crater at high temperatures. These bacteria are not found anywhere else on the surface of the Earth and feel great living in a small ecosystem at the bottom of a red-hot crater. Number 7. Hailstorm. Most of us have only seen usual hail, when ice balls are larger than the size of a pea. But every once in a while, a different kind of hail falls on our planet. This is the ice the size of tennis balls. Such hailstorm was in Texas on April 11, 2020. Huge hailstones smashed cars, damaged houses, and blew out window panes. But even Texas hailstorm can't compare to what happened 30th, 2019. Waking up in the morning, locals found all the streets filled with ice. In some places, the layer of hail exceeded 1.5 meters. Cars were blocked, hundreds of houses were damaged, and utilities were unprepared to deal with the effects of such precipitation. That's not amazing. Who would have thought that such powerful hail could start in one of the hottest countries in the world? Number 6. Ball lightning. This amazing and frightening phenomenon has not been seen even on recordings by many people, let alone observed that live. Scientists still cannot explain why and how ball lightning appear. The first scientific articles about this type of lightning did not appear until the 19th century, and due to the short duration and rarity of this phenomenon, the first footage of it didn't appear until the late 20th century. In 2014, clear footage of ball lightning appeared, but it gave no clues to its origin. With ordinary lightning, an electrical charge is created by the collision of ice crystals in thunderstorm clouds. The positively charged particles end up on top, and the negatively charged particles end up on the bottom. As a result, the cloud begins to electrify. Such lightning can form between neighboring clouds, between a cloud and the ground, and even within a single cloud. How can lightning take the shape of a ball? Number 5. Fish rain. Did you know that in Japan, it periodically rains fish? In 2019, in Ishikawa Prefecture, a local resident suddenly found a huge carp on the windshield of his car. Other large fish were found on the streets that day, with some reaching up to 30 centimeters in length. Meanwhile, in the other regions of the prefecture, people complained of a strange rain of a different type. It rained tadpoles in several towns. A local ornithologist suggested that birds were to blame for the fish fallout, because they might have dropped their prey. However, the international community of ornithologists disagree with this theory. Although theoretically, a mass dropping of prey by a disturbed flock of birds is possible, for such a precipitation, this flock should have had tens of thousands of individuals. Meteorologists are inclined to another version. Fish and tadpoles could have been dragged from the water's surface by a water spout. The phenomenon I told you about a few minutes ago was indeed observed off the coast of Japan, a few hours before the fish rains began. Number 4. The Biggest Avalanche. In October 2017, an unknown cameraman in Norway managed to shoot the avalanche from the beginning to the end. It all started at the very top. At first, the avalanche didn't seem so scary, but as it moved down, the speed and mass of snow increased exponentially. Even after the avalanche rolls down into the valley and raises a giant cloud of snow there, small masses of snow disturbed by the avalanche still roll along the sides of the mountain. Powder snow avalanches like this one can reach speeds of 300 miles per hour, and they can gain up to 10 million tons of mass along the way. Sometimes, however, avalanches are provoked artificially using explosives, such as the case in this video. Such avalanches are planned for safety reasons to relieve slopes from moving masses of snow. Number 3. Floods. When it comes to rains, Mother Nature can be merciless. This is footage from eastern Libya where recent torrential rains have been causing landslides and devastating floods. The video shot by locals showed gigantic torrents of muddy waters flowing through the streets and sweeping away everything in their path. Even large and heavy cars are being swept away. A large part of the structures were underwater. There was multi-million-dollar damage to houses and urban infrastructure, not to mention other private property, and in November 2020, Italy faced a similar problem. In many cities, the downpours were so long and heavy that cars in the streets were completely hidden underwater. Due to the large mass of water, huge holes were formed in the ground, resembling explosion craters. Number 2. The most terrible phenomenon of the tropics. Typhoon is a powerful weather phenomenon, capable of destroying everything in its path. Its winds usually blow at over 160 miles per hour. Typhoon Vanco, known as Ulysses in the Philippines, is a tropical cyclone which formed on November 8, 2020. Wind speeds at the epicenter of the storm reached 155 kilometers per hour. When the devastating storm hit the islands of the Philippines, the wind gusts had already reached 215 kilometers per hour. More than 40,000 houses went underwater. Many people who were caught unprepared by the storm were forced to save themselves on their roofs. At the height of the storm, about 3 million people were left without electricity. Fortunately, while waiting for the typhoon to hit, thousands of residents were able to move to safe areas. By the way, locals of this region have not yet had time to recover from the effects of another typhoon called Goni. While scientists have rated Vamco as a Category 4 severe tropical cyclone, Goni was a Category 5 severe tropical cyclone. Goni struck the province with wind gusts up to 225 miles per hour, damaging more than the storm waves, up to 5 meters high, also called destructive. Number 1. Landslides. Landslides and rock slides can be caused by all sorts of things, but most often they're caused by torrential rains. On June 3, 2020, an entire piece of coastline suddenly decided to set sail in the open sea because of such rain. A huge section with houses slowly moved off into the Norwegian Sea and began to collapse until it sank completely. Only debris and planks were left floating on the surface. Fortunately, no one was injured as a result of this tragedy. However, it is difficult to imagine how the owners of the houses felt. And here is a video of the landslide in Malaysia taken back in 1993. Although the quality of the video leaves a lot to be desired, you can clearly see how horrific landslides can be. I can't even imagine how you can escape when everything around you suddenly begins to collapse. That's all, guys. Which of these phenomena impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the episode, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and don't forget to stay notified of upcoming videos. Thank you for watching and see you later.